Good morning, all. So, am I audible to you all? If yes, comment fast. Then we'll start our class. Okay, so good morning, all. Good morning. So, how many people are able to listen me? Tell your friends to join faster so that we can start. Good morning, Kusal. Good morning, Samia. Okay, so around 10 people have joined us. We'll start now. Okay, so tell your friends to join faster so that we can start. So yesterday I gave homeworks in alkane chapter, right? How many people have solved it? Comment fast that I have solved, sir. Comment fast. Okay, Narayan has solved. Who else has solved? Samia has solved. Okay, so now we'll start. Right? Around 23 people have joined us. Okay, so we'll start. So till 14, any doubt? Page number 43. Page number 43. Module 2. Module 2. Page number 43. Till question number 14. Any doubt? Question number 13. Okay. So question number 13 we have now. 13 question is stability of free radical follows the order. So what happens is the stability, right? So what happens? I'll tell you the theory. The stability of free radical directly proportional to stability of carbocation. Stability of free radical is directly proportional to stability of carbocation, which is directly proportional to plus m greater than plus I greater than minus I greater than minus m, in this order. minus I is greater than plus I is greater than plus M. Now this is also directly proportional to acidity of compounds. This is also directly proportional to basicity of compounds. So this is theory. This is theory which will be memorizing. So our work theory, basicity or stability of free radical or stability of carbocation, all three follows the same order. Correct? All three follows the same order. Which order they follow? They follow first plus M. If there is a group which has plus M, then plus I, then minus I, then minus M. Plus M is called positive mesomeric effect. Positive mesomeric effect. Positive mesomeric effect. Plus I is known as positive inductive effect, negative inductive effect, and negative mesomeric effect. These are three. Okay. Then here acidity of compound is directly proportional to stability of carbanion. These two are, but this order is reverse of that. Exactly reverse. Minus M will come here, minus I will come here, plus I will come here, plus M will come there. Okay. So now. So question is stability of free radical. Stability of free radical here, it means plus M, plus I, minus M. So you need to find which group shows plus M, which group shows minus I. So what they are given? T they are given. T, this first option. S, P and CH3 dot. So if you look at these options, what do you mean by T? T means by tertiary. S means by secondary, P means by primary, and that is CH3 itself. So you need to do a tertiary radical. Tertiary radical means a carbon connected to carbon, another carbon. So this carbon is connected to three sides and there is a free radical. Secondary means what? CH3 carbon, CH3H and free radical, two sides. Primary means what? CH3, CH2 free radical, and there it itself is CH3. Now, so you have to compare them. So if you compare this carbon same, then there are difference what? There are three hydrogens, but instead of it there are two hydrogen, but one of the hydrogen is replaced by CH3. Now CH3 shows plus I effect. CH3 shows plus I effect. Here there are two CH3, so here you get 2 plus I effect. Here there are 3 plus I effect. So directly proportional to plus I, it means higher the plus I, higher the stability. It has more. So this is greater than this is greater than this. So tertiary is greater than secondary is greater than primary is greater than CH3. Okay, so this is question number 13. Then we have question number 6. Okay. The highest boiling point is expected for. Okay, this is question number 6 here. Okay, so the boiling point is directly proportional to molar mass, inversely proportional to branching. Now, can you solve this question? Boiling point is directly proportional to molar mass. Higher the molar mass, higher the boiling point. Or inversely proportional to branching. It means lesser the branch, more the boiling point. So if you look at the first option, isooctane. So isooctane, I'll draw this structure, okay? Isooctane structures look like this. CH3, CH3, CH, CH2, CH3, CH3, CH3. If you count 4 are here, 4 are here. This is isooctane. Then what is second option? N-octanes. N-octane is normal 8 carbon. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There is no branching. So branching is minimum. So the boiling point is maximum. Here you have more branch, 1 branch, 2 branch, 3 branch, whereas there is no branch. So maximum, if you do not have any branch, the boiling point is maximum. After question number 6, question number 9. Which of the following statement is not true for ethane? Is not true for ethane. It can be chlorinated with chlorine. It is correct. It can be catalytically hydrogenated. Ethane itself is a saturated molecule. If you look at the question number 9, ethane. What is the formula of ethane? C2H6. Do you have a double bond or triple bond here? Because hydrogenation is possible only when you have double bond or triple bond. Do you have double bond or triple bond in ethane? We don't have. So you cannot hydrogenate this. But what about ethene? Ethene is C2H4. Yes, we can hydrogenate. Okay. So the incorrect point is ethane cannot be hydrogenated. Then question number 10. Which of the following can consider the chain propagation step, which I taught in the last class itself? I wrote chain initiation, chain propagation, chain termination. So middle step is known as chain propagation. That is the second option. Okay, next one is till 32 any doubt? Till 32 any doubt? Till 32 any doubt? The simplest alkane which is expected to be optically active. This also we can draw diagram. We'll draw diagram, we'll find where is there any carbon which is 4 differently side bonded, such as we'll remove, okay? We'll erase now. So question number, we were doing something called question number 16. Okay, first we'll do 16 question. Someone has asked 16. The simplest alkane which is expected to be optically active. So optically active, first option is this. Is this optically active? So your answer is no, because 3 groups are same. So optically inactive. Then second one is this question. Second option is CH3, CH, CH3, CH2, CH2. These two are same, optically inactive. Then 3-methylhexane. So 3-methylhexane, you will draw 3-methylhexane. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. One bond here. Now 1 group, 2 group, 3 group, and there is one hydrogen. So all 4 are different. So optically active, correct option. Okay, that is question number 16. After question number 16, we got 1 minute, okay? Question number 30. After question, branching of hydrocarbon chain results in increase in octane number. Octane number is something that it is a tendency to burn a fuel. It is called anti-knocking value. So if you increase branches, so what happens is octane number increases. So octane number directly proportional to branching. This is question number 30. After question number 30, question number 15. Bromination of alkane is initiated by homolysis. We did this. When I wrote chain initiation step, then I write Cl, Cl, which they are doing bromination. We can take bromination also. When you take bromination here, Br, single bond Br, there were 2 electrons, it undergoes homolysis bond fission. It undergoes homolysis, bond fission, because two electrons are there, both are not going to one side. Half. One electron going here, one electron going there. These two electrons are broken equally. That's called homolysis. That's called homolysis, bond fission. This is question number 15. Then after 30, 15 done. Then question number 19. For the formation of 27 gram of water, what volume of neopentane is required for complete combustion? This is a very easy question. This question belongs to mole concept. It's not even organic chemistry. But still we'll try to solve, okay? So we'll solve here. So question number 19. And in this case, neopentane. Right? Neopentane. So do you have formula of neopentane? Yes. We have a neopentane formula, something like this. CH3C, CH3, CH3 and CH3. This is neopentane. So how many carbon? 5 carbon. How many hydrogen? 12 plus O2 gives rise to CO2 plus H2O. We have to balance 5 carbon, 12, 6 hydrogen, 5 to the 10 plus 6, 16, so 8 O2. What they are saying is, this is given 27 gram. They are asking how much liter is this at STP. So 27 by 18 grams will get 3 by 2 moles. Okay. 6 moles require 1. Unitary method. 6 moles require 1 mole. So 1 mole require 1 by 6. How many moles they are asking for? 3 by 2. So 3 by 2 moles require 1 by 6 into 3 by 2. Visible? Okay, so 3 into 6 2 times, so we get 1 by 4 moles of C5H12, but they are not asking moles, they are asking volume. So volume of 1 by 4 means what? 1 by 4 equals to volume of gas at STP divided by 22.4 liter. So volume of gas is 5.6 liter. That is the question number 19. So question number 19 also done. Then we have question number 17 and 22. 17 and 22. 2 questions more, right? Copy fast. Copy fast. If you have doubts, you ask me now. The previous question. Okay, so question number 17 also. Which of the following is not a paraffin? Paraffin is an alkane. Paraffin is alkane. So if there are alkane, those are known as paraffins. If you do not have alkane, those are not paraffins. So such as question number 17. Which of the following is not a paraffin? Isooctane has a formula of C8H18. Neopentane has a formula of C5H12, the same thing. Mars gas is CH4. And vinyl acetylene acetylene. This formula is CH triple bond C CH double bond CH2. So it is not an alkane. So this is your answer. That is question number 17. Now we have question number 22. 22. Which of the following compound does not dissolve in concentrated sulfuric acid even on warming? That is answer is hexane. Alkanes are very less reactive. This is 22 question, okay? Alkanes are very less reactive. So one of the option is hexane. Then 22, then 25. Which compound does not contain quaternary carbon? Quaternary carbon is, that is also easy. 25 is quaternary carbon, which means what? Carbon connected to four-side carbon. Understand? Carbon connected to four-side carbon is known as quaternary carbon. So we'll draw all these structures. We'll draw all these structure and you need to find that is there any carbon which is showing like this four-side carbon. So this carbon is known as quaternary carbon. Okay. Till 52 any doubt? Till 52 any doubt? Till 52 any doubt? Tell fast beta. Till 52. Question number 36. How many dibromoalkane would be produced? That is easy. That is easy. Yesterday we did how many positional isomer for for C2, C4H, C5H5. We did C5H10 Br2 or Cl2 we did. That is the same question. Okay, we'll still solve if you want me to solve. So question number 36. How many dibromoalkanes would be produced in bromination of N-butane? N-butane is 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Dibromo means I can keep one Br here, one Br there. Now how many different I can make? So what I can do? I can shift, I can fix one Br, move this to here, 2, 3, 4, then move this here, then put first one here, same, put second one here, 5, put one here, 6. So total will get 6 answer. That is easy. That question number was 36. Then question number 29. Ayush, you are not revising notes which I am teaching in class because that is a class work question. 29, what they are saying is in 29, A H2O with CH4. Have we done any reaction like this? All people, all 34 people. Have we done any reaction like this? Comment. Comment your answer. Have we done any question like this? Any reaction where A gives methane gas with respect to water by on reaction with water? Have you done any reaction like this? Tell me, yes or no? Tell, have you done or not? So, all people, yes, which is the reaction? What is the reaction that? That reaction was Al4C3 plus 12H2O gives rise to 3CH4 plus AlOH whole thrice 4. There, who is this? So we know what is A. This is your A. No, Nikhil, not Grignard reacted. No, no Grignard. This reaction, laboratory preparation of methane. Laboratory preparation of methane. Then what happens is this, with this we are doing Cl2, right? We are doing Cl2. Then we get CH3Cl. Then we are doing with Na with ether. This is Wood's reaction. So we will get CH3. Right? Yes. So after 29, question number 38. In the chlorination, the substitution, that is the same question. I told you reactivity selectivity principle. Question number 38. Reactivity selectivity principle. They are asking which one will be minor. Whoever is slowest will be the minor product. That's how we solve 38. So minor means whose yield is minimum. Whose yield is minimum. 38 is done. Then question number 31. 31 is isobutane is soluble in. Isobutane is soluble in benzene. Isobutane is soluble in benzene. Is because like dissolves like compounds. It means, this line means same type of compound dissolves same type of compounds. Isobutane is a non-polar compound. Benzene is also non-polar compound. So that's why both will get dissolved. 31 also done. 29 done. Question number 42 now. Question number 42. Active species are, that is Cl dot, free radical, which I taught in the class itself. Then question number 50. Question number 50. Aqueous solution of potassium propionate on electrolysis liberate propionate. This also will solve. If you remember Kolbe electrolysis, then in Kolbe electrolysis we did sodium salt of carboxylic acid. But here they are doing, which question it is? Question number 50 question. Okay. Sodium propionate. Propionate is 3 carbons. So we can draw CH3 CH2 CO O and A plus. I'll get O minus Na plus. We'll take 2 molecules. It will give me 2 electron plus. We'll get 2 CH3 CH2 CO O dot. This will give me carbon dioxide gas plus I'll get CH3 CH2 dot 2 times, which will combine together to get me CH3 CH2 CH2 CH3. 58 done. 50 done. Then question number 38. 38 same. Just now I told you reactivity selectivity principle. Whichever is minor, it will be slowest. Yield will be minimum. 55 question. Okay, till 68 page number, till 68, not page number, till 68 question. Till 68 question, so we got question number 55 also. Which of the following is the highest percentage of hydrogen? That is also easy. Why you are asking me easy problem, huh? Not trying, huh? That is the only understanding I can make from these all easy problems. Where you are not solving easily, you are not putting hard work, you are not putting brain to work. Question number 55. Which of the following has the highest percentage of hydrogen? How do I calculate percentage of hydrogen in a hydrocarbon? So I'll write amount of hydrogen divided by total amount into 100. So option 1, CH4, 4 by 16 into 100. Option 2, 4 by 12 to the 24 plus 4, 28 into 100. Third option, 6 by 78 into 100. Fourth option, 2 by 26 into 100. Can you solve which one is minimum? Okay, Narayan is asking question number 64. Volume of oxygen is required for the total combustion of propane. This is also easy problem. Again, who is this guy? Narayan, you are not also solving. This is more concerned question. They are making me little bit angry. Little bit only. Not making much. 64, right? You are asking 64, right? Yes. Okay, 64 question. Volume of oxygen is required for total combustion of propane. Propane is C3H8 plus O2 gives rise to CO2 plus H2O, 3 carbon, 8 hydrogen, 4 H2O, 3 into 2, 6 plus 4, 10, 5 liter. Answer is 5 liter. Okay, till 70 any doubts? Till 70 any doubt? Full board. Full board. Till 70 any doubt? Done, right? So now we can proceed. Okay, so remaining all people, we are done, right? So the next chapter in hydrocarbon is alkene. Okay. So now, in this chapter, what we do, whatever reaction I've taught you till in alkane, we are not going to write them again, okay? So basically, so that we will have less time of reaction, less number of reaction to memorize. But you have to memorize in the first time, right? If you did not memorize there, I'll not teach now. So then next time you will forget this reaction. So whatever I've taught before, try to memorize them daily. Organic chemistry require revision daily. If you don't memorize yesterday part, today you're not going to get marks in this particular chapter, okay, or in this particular branch of chemistry. So try to memorize daily. Second thing is, next chapter is alkane. Now the many things you already know, right? Alkane will have a double bond. Alkane will have a double bond. The general formula will be CN H2N they have sp2 hybridization. These all we know. Okay. So directly we will go to methods of preparation. We will go to methods of preparation. Methods of preparation. Methods of preparation. Okay. While we are talking about methods of preparation, first we'll talk about from alkyl halide. From alkyl halide. From alkyl halide. So you are also writing with me, right? If you do not write, if you simply look at this board, you won't be able to solve in the exam. You can't solve the exercises also. So you also please write with me, okay? Everything, whatever I write. So method of preparation from alkyl halide. When we do from alkyl halide, so in that alkyl halide, what type of alkyl halide? So from monohalide, where you get only single halogen. From monohalide. From monohalide. Now in this case we follow mechanism of E1 and E2. This is called anti-elimination mechanism. Anti-elimination mechanism. How do we follow? We see it like this. RCHX CH2 or CH3. CH3, okay. Instead of writing CH3, you write like this. CH2H plus alcoholic KOH. This alcoholic KOH means KOH is dissolved into an ethanol or any alcohol Okay, so what happens in this case is, will remove from here, will cut from here. This is known as alpha carbon. This is known as beta carbon, and this is known as beta hydrogen. So will remove beta hydrogen, this is a trick, will remove beta hydrogen and alpha halogen. This is trick. Will remove beta hydrogen and alpha halogen. So if you remove this and if you remove this, so one valency created here, one valency created here. As soon as one valency created adjacent, they will combine together to form bond. So when they form a bond, we get RCH double bond CH2 plus HX. This is what? This is alkene. This is alkene, right? Copied. That all copied, right? Then the some points are there, okay? Is all copied or not? Right? Okay, so the next one is, so this is from monohalide. Next one is from dihalide. From dihalide. So now while we are doing from dihalide, dihalide means there are three different types of dihalide. What are those? One is known as geminal dihalide. One is known as geminal dihalide. What is geminal means? Geminal means two halogen present at same carbon. Two halogen present at same carbon. Two halogen present at same carbon. Present at same carbon is known as geminal dihalide. So if I want to write RCH2CH X and X, you can keep that double X at this carbon also, any carbon, okay, it doesn't matter. But two halogen at same carbon, that is called geminal. What we do, we take zinc. Here we take 2 zinc because I am going to take 2 moles of geminal dihalide. What I'll make? What this will make? Tell me. Tell me what these two will make. Tell me what one of the product is. So it will make ZnX2 2 moles plus whatever is remaining. I am going to join them. 2 valency open up here, 2 valency open up here. What I can write? RCH2CH double bond CH2 R. Right? This is for geminal. The next one is for vicinal dihalide. Vicinal means 2 halogen present at adjacent carbon. Present at adjacent carbon. It means what? It means CHX, CH2X. This is called adjacent. One X is here, so adjacent is this one, not this one. Adjacent, just neighbor, XX. Here we'll take zinc only. Single zinc is sufficient here. So we'll get ZnX2. So you will cut from here. 2 valence you will open up here. You will write RCH double bond CH2. This is for vicinal dihalide. And then the next and the last one. This is 1, 2, 3, which is known as isolated dihalide. Isolated dihalide definition is neither geminal nor vicinal will be isolated. Neither geminal nor vicinal will be isolated, such as this is coming CH2, 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 X, X. Now you will find that one halogen is here, second halogen is not here, not geminal, not adjacent, not vicinal, somewhere other, all becomes isolated. We'll take again zinc. One of the product is ZnX2. We'll cut from here. But while cutting these two and join them, we'll get CH2 joined together with CH2. So we'll get a cyclopropane. Understand? Copy now. Copy. So from isolated dihalide, we do not make alkene. This is not alkene. This is cyclic compound. Copied? Done? All people have copied it or not? If you have copied, please comment fast. Okay, so next. This is from dihalide. Second is from esters. From ester. So how do we get from ester? There is a pre-required condition that CH2, CH2R. You can make alkene only from those ester which has at least 2 carbon this side, which has at least 2 carbon this side. Okay, then what happens is this bonds on heating with glass wool, at a 450 degrees Celsius, this bond going to shift there, and then one of the hydrogen shifts here. So we get CH3 C double bond OH plus CH2 double bond CHR. This is an alkene. This is an alkene. This name itself is also known as pyrolysis of ester. And what do you mean by pyrolysis? Pyrolysis means breaking of ester. Done? This is done. Then we have third one, that is called again Kolbe electrolysis. This is exactly same as the previous one which we have done in alkane chapter, but there is a little bit tiny change. What is the tiny change here is, in there we have taken 2 moles, right? Here I am not going to take 2 moles of silver or 2 moles of sodium salt of any carboxylic acid. I'll take 1 mole of carboxylic acid salt, but I will take 1 mole of dicarboxylic acid, such as CHCOONA. This is 1 mole, right? But I will take dicarboxylic acid, means these two are joined together in order like this. This is 1 mole I'll take. Okay? 1 mole I'll take. Now this is dicarboxylic acid. If you want to name it, it is called sodium butanoate, sodium butadiene. Okay, sodium butadiene. But what happens is, it will undergo breaking. When it undergoes breaking, it will become CH2, C double bond O minus, CH2, C double bond O minus plus 2Na plus. This will lose 2 electron and it will become CH2, C double bond O dot, CH2, C double bond O dot. O dot will combine together to give me, this will give me CO2, 2 moles will break from here, When you break from here, they will combine together to get me CH2 double bond, CH2. This is an alkene. This is an alkene. Okay, copied this also. This is all copied. Tell me if you have copied it or not. Do you have any doubt? Tell me if you have any doubt or you have copied, so that if you do not have doubts, we can proceed. Right? So we'll proceed now. So this is all I have made alkene. I have done making alkene. Once I have alkene, then we'll go to little bit properties. Very, very tiny properties are there, such as trans alkene has less dipole moment than cis. This is one point. Another point is trans alkene is more stable than cis alkene, and stability of alkene is directly proportional to number of alpha hydrogen. Copy it all. Copied. Done. Right, so now we have next heading, which is chemical reaction. Which is chemical reaction. Chemical reaction. So, first is hydrogenation. There is one more, halogenation, which we have already done. I have converted an alkene into alkane by addition of hydrogen gas on the surface of nickel, palladium, platinum. They do cis addition. All remembering, right? This is hydrogenation. This is hydrogenation. Now, in this case, what happens is this. We'll take an alkene RCH double bond CH2 plus X2 in the presence of CCl4. This is called carbon tetrachloride. This is known as carbon tetrachloride. So now what happens is, one point. What is the point? X2 does anti-addition. X2 does anti-addition or trans-addition because of its larger size. Because of its larger size, it does anti-addition. What do you mean by anti-addition? I mean anti-addition by this. If there are two halogens, when I was having two hydrogen, I added from the same side. That I call it as cis addition. Here it is trans. It means if you add one X from here, another X you can't add from here. Another X will get added from up. So opposite. Opposite means trans addition or anti-addition. Understand? Then I will be able to write like RCHX CH2X. And there are no byproduct. And there are no byproduct. And what is this? This is what? This is known as vicinal dihalide. Vicinal dihalide. Understood? My question to you is this. Vicinal dihalide. If I want to convert into alkene, what should I write on the top of arrow? And if I want to convert alkene back to vicinal dihalide, what should I write here? Two questions. What I should write here? What should I write here? What does this mean, arrow mean? I can convert a vicinal dihalide into alkene. I can. What is the reason? I can convert alkene into vicinal dihalide. I can. What is the reason required? So you need to write what is 1, what is 2 in your chat box and then hit enter. Tell me the answer. If you are able to tell me, you will understand. Zn on top and top CCl4 for bottom. Not only CCl4, CCl4 alone is not sufficient. Little bit mistake. Here you will write Zn, that is correct. But here you will write X2 with CCl4. Only CCl4 will not do the job. You need to write X2 also, this whole setup. Understand mistake? Zn is correct. Alkene to backside X2 plus CCl4. X2 in the presence of CCl4. Understand? Understood your mistakes? So in the chemistry like this, whenever you have converted a reaction into a product, try to find a reverse reaction also, so that it will interrelate. Now, if you memorize this too, it will cover two reactions. But actually I am memorizing one reaction only. You see the beauty? I have memorized vicinal dihalide to alkene, alkene back to vicinal dihalide, and I am memorizing zinc and X2 with CCl4. I am covering two reactions, but I am memorizing one reaction. That's how we decrease the number of reactions in the organic chemistry. Understood? Okay. Then, now after this we have next is called hydrohalogenation. Hydrohalogenation. This is the important one. The next one is hydrohalogenation. Hydro. What are the two elements here? Tell me. What are the two elements here? What are the two elements here? Tell me. What are the two elements there? Tell. Hydrogen and halogen. It means hydrogen is denoted by H, halogen is denoted by HX. Means the heading will become addition of HX and HX. Example. What is the example of HX? Tell me. What is the example of HX? What is the example of HX? Tell me. Any example of HX do you remember? Right? So one of the example is HCl. Any other? So we remember 4. HF, HCl, HBr, HI. These all are what? These all are acid. So now I'm talking about a reaction of alkene with acid and not all acid. Basically HX acid. Okay? And in these cases you must remember the acidic order. HI is stronger acid than HBr, then HCl and then HF. This is acidic order. This is acidic order. Once I have acidic order, then what happens? I'm going to write a reaction. RCH double bond CH2 plus HX gives rise to. Now there is a little bit you need to understand. HX will break into H plus X minus. Now I have to break alkene. When I want to break alkene, so there is a double bond, there is a pi bond which I want to move. So on moving pi bond, this I want to move. Now the question is, to which side? To left side or to right side? You have to answer me. Which side? To left side or to right side? Tell me which side? To left or to right? So which side? Left side or right side? Right side. Right side because secondary carbocation is more stable. Okay. So now I'll tell you how do we figure it out. So to figure it out, we use Markovnikov rule, which after this I am going to write simply as MR. We use Markovnikov. We use Markovnikov's rule. Now onwards I will call it as MR. Okay. But how does this rule says that? This rule says that X minus or nucleophile X minus or nucleophile attacks on that double bonded carbon, attacks on that double bonded carbon, not all carbon, only double bonded carbon which has less number of hydrogen, which has less number of hydrogen, which has less number of hydrogen. Yes, you understand? This is X minus attacks on that double bonded carbon which has less number of hydrogen. This is X minus, it has to attack on that double bonded carbon, but it will go to that carbon only which has less number of hydrogen. So if I don't know this also, what I can do is, this is one hydrogen, this is two hydrogen, which is less. Who will tell me? Which one is less? 1 or 2? Tell me fast. Do you know which one is less? 1 or 2? Do we know or not? Right, so only 1 people know that 1 is less than 2 out of 38 people. That is easy question, right? Yes. So this is lesser than that. It means X minus will attack here. It means if X minus will attack here, it should get positive charge, it should get negative charge, then this double bond will shift there. Easy way to memorize, easy way to understand. Once I do this, then I can simply write RCHX. Now, positive will attract negative, negative will attract positive. RCHXCH3. Done? Done? But what happens is, one more point. Before we write directly, we make this as plus. Then only X minus will attack here and we'll make it as RCHXCH3. Okay? And what is the point? Why did I write like this? I have written like this because this is carbocation. So what happens is, as soon as we are able to make a carbocation in any of the reaction in organic chemistry or most of the reaction, carbocation undergoes rearrangement if possible. This is important. Before X minus attack here, carbocation can undergo rearrangement if possible. If possible means what? Whatever carbocation you are making here, if it is already maximum stable in this case, and you cannot increase the stability, it do not undergo rearrangement. But by chance, in some compound, in some cases, this carbocation is not that stable, but you can make in this structure itself another carbocation more stable, then this carbocation will take place that shape, will undergo rearrangement in order to gain that shape where it is more stable. That is called rearrangement. If possible means you need to find whether this is the maximum stable carbocation in the given structure or is there any more possibility to make it more stable. Understand? Okay, so I'll solve one problem here, you try to understand from there. Okay, clear? Jump here. Now, so CH3, CH3, H, CH2, double CH2, okay, not CH2, CH1 plus HCl gives rise to right product. This reaction I have written, try to write a product formula. Are you people trying? How many people are trying? Two chloro, 2-methyl butane. Any other answer? Okay, so we see this question now. So what happens is, first you will apply Markovnikov's rule, which says that negative part is going to attack on a side which has less number of hydrogen. So this is the point. So we'll draw CH3, CH, CH3, CH, positive charge, CH3. Now this is secondary carbocation. This is secondary carbocation. This is secondary carbocation. Can you, this is maximum stable, or is there any possibility to make it more stable? Then you will find it that if I able to put positive charge here, then it will become tertiary. So what happens is, this hydrogen moves there, that positive charge moves here. This is called rearrangement only. CH3C, CH3 positive charge, CH2, CH3. Now this is tertiary carbocation, and tertiary carbocation is always more stable than secondary. It means this is more stable. So it undergoes rearrangement. Once I do this, brings H plus and Cl minus, attack of Cl minus here, we get CH3, CH3, Cl, CH2, CH3. This is your parent hydrocarbon. Its name 1, 2, 3, 4. Its name is 2-chloro 2-methyl butane. 3-methyl is not the correct answer, but it will be in the option, and mostly it will be the first option also, because these are the questions where you can do mistakes. So examiner also likes to take the advantage of these mistakes in order to give you less marks. So whenever this type of question comes, be more attentive. Okay? Understood? Can we move to next question? Copied all? Understood or not? Do you have any doubt? Can we move to next question? Tell me. Can we solve another question? You want to solve another question, or shall I teach you more theory? So you want to solve another question, or shall I teach new theory now? Another question? Okay. So try this question, Shyam. Are you people trying or not? Tell me. 1-bromo, 1-methyl cyclohexane. Serene Summer, I have not taught you anti-Marconi-Copps rule till now, so you don't have to try anti-Marconi-Copps rule. I'll teach you, then you can think of anti-Marconi-Copps rule. But I have not taught you till now, so don't think of anti-Marconi-Copps rule yet. Solve with Marconi-Copps rule only. Okay, so we see this question now. It will break into H plus plus Br minus. It will break into H plus plus Br minus. This will attack. Again, we have to do with Markovnikov's rule only. Okay, so Br minus will attack 2 carbon which has less hydrogen. Here there are 2, there is 1. So it will basically attack there. So it means it will go minus here. It will go plus there. So we'll draw a compound in the middle that looks like this. Plus. Now this is a 5-membered ring. This is 5-membered ring with secondary carbocation. I can do rearrangement. Then what happens is this shifts there, positive charge comes here. And you can name it as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It means I can make it as a 6-membered ring. So I have named numbered it, so then I'll draw proper 6-membered ring. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Then I'll number it. You can number it any side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. At 1 and 6 have joined together. At 1 there was one methyl group, so one methyl group. Then this positive charge has come to 2, so 2. Remaining everything are same. Then I'll call it as 6-membered ring with secondary carbocation. Which is more stable than that? This is more stable than that. But can you make more stable? Yes. What if? How? There is one hydrogen here. Hydrogen goes there. Positive charge comes here. Then it will become this. Positive charge here. How will I write like this? Now I write this here. 6-membered ring with tertiary carbocation. And tertiary carbocation definitely is more stable than secondary. Once you have this, then Br minus attacks here and forms a compound. This. And if you want to name it, this is 1. So we write 1 bromo, 1 methyl cyclohexane. Only 3 people has tried this question. Why? This is a good question. Done? Oh. So now I'll give you a bit more theory. Copied all. All people have copied, right? Can we proceed? Right? Copied? Okay. Then, one more reaction we have. That reaction is RCHCH2 plus HBr in the presence of peroxide. Or peroxide can also be denoted by R2O2. This alkene HBr. It means same type of reaction. But now here one more thing is given, peroxide and R2O2. Here what is there? There is a reaction plus HBr plus peroxide. It means there is one HBr, there is one peroxide is also. Okay. It means now there is a different thing, different story. What is different story? Now it follows anti-Markovnikov's rule. It follows anti-Markovnikov's rule. Now onwards I'll call it as AMR. I'll call it as AMR. What is AMR? AMR says this now. X minus or nucleophile will attack on that double bonded carbon which has more number of hydrogen. Nucleophile will attack on that double bonded carbon which has more number of hydrogen. Now, very important thing is anti-Markovnikov's rule is only followed in these two cases. Only, I'm pressurizing on word called only. Only when HBr is there and peroxide is there. If HCl and peroxide is there, it does not follow anti-Markovnikov's rule. You should satisfy both conditions, HBr as well as peroxide. Then only it follow anti-Markovnikov's rule. And if it follows anti-Markovnikov's rule, it's easy. Which has more hydrogen? This has more hydrogen. So Br will attack there. R, CH2, single bond, CH2, Br. That's all. No rearrangement, nothing. That is your answer. Understand? So, a broken H plus and Br minus will attack to a double bonded carbon which has more hydrogen. So, this carbon, that's all I put at, I'll add Br. Easy? So, can you solve some problems now? I have written total 5 problems. Let's see how many people get the correct answer of 5. Solve fast. So how many minutes you want to solve these problems? That also you can. So I need these many minutes. Will 1 minute will be sufficient or you want more than 1 minute? Sareen, someone has solved first question. Okay, so I'll also try to solve them. So HCl, which rule? Simply Markovnikov's rule. So here Cl. Answer is 2-chlorobutane. First answer is 2-chlorobutane. Right, correct, Sareen. Second one is also 2-chlorobutane. Will apply Markovnikov's rule. Will not apply anti-Markovnikov's rule because this is not matching. So see here also 2-chlorobutane. Third answer. Third. Who will tell me third answer? Third question. Two chloro 2-methyl butane. Yes. So what will happen? This want to shift. So this will shift here. Minus plus. It will be a secondary, but we can shift it to tertiary, right? So we'll get this answer. This will be your parent hydrocarbon. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we get 2-chloro 2-methyl pentane. Will apply Markovnikov's rule. Pentane, not butane. Third is pentane. 5 carbon. We are seeing 5 carbon, right? Okay, so next one, HBr. So there is no peroxide. So we'll still follow Markovnikov's rule. And what is the same answer we'll get here also. But here we'll get with Br. We'll get with Br. So 2-bromo 2-methyl pentane. Right? What about the last question? What about the last answer? Last answer. My question to you in last is whether we'll follow Markovnikov's rule or anti-Markovnikov's rule. Which rule will follow? Which rule? Markovnikov's rule or anti-Markovnikov's rule? For the last problem. Anti-Markovnikov's rule will not follow anti-Markovnikov's rule. Will follow Markovnikov's rule only is because we do not have HBr here. Will follow only Markovnikov's rule. But the point here is we don't do rearrangement. Now in this case of R2O2 we don't do rearrangement. If I don't do rearrangement, then the answer will come as Br here. So we'll write 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 bromo, 3 methyl, butane. Whenever R2O2 is there, we'll stop doing rearrangement. Will not do rearrangement if you get R2O2. So the correct answer becomes 2 bromo, 3 methyl, butane. Understand? Are we done? Done? Yes or no? Tell fast, better. Understood? All questions? Any doubt? Okay, so the next we'll see here. Next is called hydration, or sometimes we also call it as hydrolysis. This means what? Simply addition of water. And addition of water means water will break into H plus and OH minus. So here you get nucleophile as OH minus. But in this case we have different 3 types of reaction. What are those reactions? First is known as acid catalyzed hydration, bracket ACH. Second one is known as oxymercuration, demercuration. Oxymercuration and demercuration, OM, DM. And the third one is known as hydroboration, oxidation, HBO. These are their short forms. Okay, these are their short forms. Now, so when we are talking about acid catalyzed hydration, we write like this: RCH double bond CH2 plus H2O in the presence of H plus. I'll give you the tricks with black pen. Follows Markovnikov's rule with rearrangement. So if possible, try to do rearrangement. This is a trick. The answer is RCH, CH3 and OH. So when you do hydrolysis, it becomes alcohol. Alkene forms alcohol. So when I teach alcohol chapter, I won't teach you this reaction because I'm teaching now. So Markovnikov's rule with rearrangement. In case of oxymercuration and demercuration, what we take is this reaction. So RCH double bond CH2 first. We take HgOAc twice. We take HgOAc twice. This we take with second we take H2O. Okay. Then what we get here is trick I write now. Only Markovnikov's rule. Only or we write like this. Markovnikov's rule without rearrangement. This is trick. Markovnikov's rule without rearrangement. Then we get RCHOH CH3. Understand? Then we write last. Then we write last one here as RCH double bond CH2. First is known as B2H6. First one is known as B2H6 with THF. Second one is known as NaBH4 in OH minus. Trick here is anti-Markovnikov's rule. And anti-Markovnikov's rule comes always without rearrangement. So the answer becomes RCH2CH2OH. RCH2CH2CH2OH. Copied. So able to copy all people? Okay, so we have got one more last topic, and that is called oxidation. That is called oxidation. Now, when you want to write oxidation, first one is with acidic KMnO4. So reaction goes like this. RCH double bond CH2. RCH double bond CH2 in the presence of H plus and KMnO4. We make one as carboxylic acid, RCOOH. which have both hydrogen, we make it as CO2 plus water. This is with acid. But the one more is important, which is known as with alkaline KMnO4. In this case, RCH double bond CH2 OH minus and KMnO4, we get RCHOH CHOH. This is also known as Bayer's reagent. And the last one is known as with ozone. This is very important. With ozone. So when you want to do with ozone, RCH double bond CH2, first we use O3, second we use ZN with H2O. And how do I write answer? Trick here is, you will break from here, you will put oxygen, oxygen. You will put oxygen and oxygen. You will break from here, you will put oxygen, oxygen. Then it will become RCH double bond O plus. It will become HC double bond O H. So we can make here carbonyl compound. Carbonyl compound. Alkene is the most important chapter because from alkene we can make anything. From alkene I have made alkane by adding hydrogen. Then I have made alkyl halide. We can make alkyne. Then we can make alcohol. All alcohols. Then we have made carboxylic acid. Then we have made aldehyde, ketone also. So I can make alkene into most variety of the compounds. That's why alkene has got more reactions compared to alkane chapter. Now whole. Okay. Copied? Copied now? All people? Okay, so it's time for assignment. Okay? So module 2 and the chapter is alkene. It has got exercise as 59 page number and it has got 70 problems. To solve all 70 problems in the next class I'll discuss, provided you must have solved them. Okay? Try to solve all 70 problems. If you are solving for 70 problems, whichever question you get doubts, tomorrow I'll discuss all those doubts. One more thing. Now I covered 4 chapters in organic chemistry. I have covered nomenclature, I have covered isomerism, then I have covered alkane, I have covered alkene. Try to memorize them. So if I ask a question tomorrow, you can give me an answer. Okay? So try to memorize all those homework. Okay, we'll continue in the next class. Thank you very much all.